It's like you give a party and you forget to invite the guests, and then you're surprised nobody showed up. How about treating the patients who made the clinical trial possible, for whose benefit the clinical trial was done, who paid for it with their tax dollars, who paid for it coming and going, both ways. How about saying, thank you guys, we couldn't have done it without you. Not that it would make a huge difference, but how about attitude? Treating us like the partners that we are. Everybody gets a seat at that table. Drug companies sit there, regulatory agencies sit there, physicians sit there, publishers sit there, pharmaceutical company reps sit there, people who make a profit on Wall Street on these drug companies and the results of the trial that you're participating in, they sit there. Who doesn't sit there? Patients don't sit there. Or more important, patient advocates don't sit there. So you see my beef here. We don't control much of the process at all. And that is a big problem. How do you get trust when you don't know what's going on? How can I talk to you about a clinical trial when I'm not allowed to see the clinical trial protocol because it is called confidential? How can I report on a clinical trial and whether it works or not when I can't see the results? And I can see them after they're published, but that's after the fact. Can we be helpful? Can patient advocates be the Yentl, or if you're Jewish, the good matchmaker between the two sides? You bet. There was a recent clinical trial that was terrific, fantastic clinical trial. And they were trying to recruit about 250 patients. And it had been open for 15 months, and they recruited 8. Okay? So you can see it was going nowhere fast. Terrific trial. We wrote up about it on CLL Topics. Their phones were ringing off the hook. They recruited 200 patients in the next 2 weeks. Okay? So we can get the word out, provided we know what the word is, provided I get to know what the clinical trial protocol is and how it's supposed to work, and frankly, if it impresses me, because I am a pretty tough grader. I don't talk about clinical trials that are me too, or just trying to make a big buck for the company without much benefit for the patients. But we do need more access to clinical trials so that we can do our job of bringing you the information you need before you can make a decision. If you ever looked at one of these patient disclosure forms and it lists your adverse effect profile, you can have this very broad profile of everything that can possibly happen. Lawyers write it so the company doesn't get sued and the doctor doesn't get sued. It goes all the way from pain in your little left pinky to dramatic death. Now you figure out what that clinical trial is supposed to mean. I mean, you can handle the pain in the pinky, you don't want the dramatic death, so which one is it that you're supposed to be really looking at? So this is the kind of stuff that's going on that makes it impossible for us to figure out what these clinical trials are, what the hell is going on, is it going to be good for me, should I participate? There's another very important reason why people are not participating in clinical trials, motivation. They tell you on every stage 1, phase 1 clinical trial, this is not meant to be of therapeutic value to you as a patient. It's not supposed to help you. We are just trying to find out what is the maximum tolerated dose, where it is likely to help and not kill the patient, and that's what you are there. You are literally a guinea pig. So people say, Jesus, that doesn't sound so good. Why should I be in this clinical trial? Now, let me phrase it differently, and let's see if I can get you more interested. If someone said, look, this drug ain't going to help you, but do you have a little kid? You have a daughter or a grandson or a grandkid? This trial may not help you, but it may start the research that someday, when your grandkid is being diagnosed with CLL, and this is a familial CLL, would you be interested in participating in this trial? I think you'd have a lot more takers here, if I phrased it to you that way. There is altruism in participating in clinical trials. Every single one of them is a hero who participates. How few doctors approach it from that perspective? That you are an altruistic person, that you want to do something for this community, that you are a loving grandparent, you want to see a cure by the time it's your grandkid's turn to face CLL, and you're willing to volunteer, willing to put yourself out in order to do something along those lines. So these are important issues. Continuing medical education used to happen with experts talking to local providers who then, doctor knows best, talk to patients. This is how it happened. Back in the Marcus Welby days, when there used to be enough time for this stuff to happen. Now the problem is, That bridge, expert to the local oncologist, is busted because it's happening too slowly for our time frames. And this other little thing at the bottom here, the doctor knows best, the social contract has been busted. Wake up, guys. Not too many patients believe that anymore. Not with all the scandals that have been out there. And that's the truth. So we have a new paradigm that does work better. And it's called a three-way. Experts talk, we don't prevent anybody from taking CME exams. By all means, go to the ASH and learn at the feet of the experts. We hope you do. But we also have patient advocates who talk to the experts. I don't think there are too many CLL experts in the US or Europe that I do not know on a first-name basis. Don't know too many Canadians. I got to collect that. I know Dr. Spanner, but not too many others. We talk to the experts, and we talk to you. We talk for you, and we talk to you. And we can be that bridge. And then you can build your new partnership with your doctor. More informed patient, a more teachable patient, a more willing patient. And that is good news for everybody.